We're going to start off our live with some music. So if you end up watching the replay, just fast forward to 6:30. That's when more of the important information will start. But for now, we'll listen to music and hang out. I don't even know who this is, but who is this? Hey, Ella, want to hear that? Okay, pause that. 6:30 comes quick. I gotta put my earbuds in so it's easier to hear me. What do we got? Brendan, Christy, Laura, Tammy, hello. So glad you're here. Okay, I switched to earbuds. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I think they help quite a bit. All right, I need to access. Yep. Oh, awkward when you can hear. Oh my gosh. Hi, Danielle. You happen to be sitting on the floor too with your dog. I hope you can stay for this one. Hi, Janelle. Hi, Maggie. Oh, yay. Say hi, people. I love that. I love the interaction. I love the engagement. I try really, really hard to keep up with these comments and hopefully they come through in real time. Sweet. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Awesome. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. What a fantastic fall we are having so far. I cannot get over the weather. It is perfect. It's cool in the morning. There's no humidity. It warms up in the day. The sky is so blue, so gorgeous. Just so much gratitude for that. How lucky are we in New England right now? And the trees are turning. They're so beautiful. Okay, real quick, I want to talk about a couple things. Welcome back, everyone. Really, really grateful for anyone who has bought a shirt and is representing Fit Doc Strength Programming. I wore mine tonight. I think it's such a cool, I always say this, I just think it's so cool, so bright and vibrant and fun. So specifically, I think I've got the list of people who have bought a shirt. Tina, Dino, Leah, Lauren, Allie, and Eleanor. And if I forgot anyone, let me know. But so grateful for you supporting me in that way. So it means so much to me. We are back in Core Healing Massage, Jesse Brown's beautiful space. It's so comfortable and amazing, and I'm so grateful for that too. Every time we come, Ella just falls right asleep. That's how comfortable it is here and how peaceful it is here. So Jessie is a massage therapist. She's one of my great friends, and she does fantastic work. She has implemented and added a infrared sauna to the space, and I have been again, blessed to be able to enjoy that after my classes. So if you have not come, please check it out. It's so wonderful. I've been feeling so good after I use it, and I think you all will find benefit in it too. It's essentially $1 a minute. So check out her website. I will link all that in our Facebook group at the end. I've been linking it to this video, but I struggled to find the links after. So I'm just going to make a little post after separately to find the links of all these things. Another housekeeping thing. This is a free class. I do it for all of you to spread awareness and help you all out and just, create a habit. Some of you are coming every single Tuesday, and I'm so, so proud of you. Like you've created this commitment to yourself and you're showing up, you're spending time with me, which also makes me feel so blessed that you feel compelled to do that with me. So again, it's free, but I am taking any kind of donation through Venmo if you feel like that's something your heart is pulling you to do. I appreciate it in advance. Thank you so much for anyone who does do that. And anyone who's just here, your presence is a present to me. So glad you're here. Last little piece of housekeeping. This one's exciting. So I have been coordinating a little side project with Noah, the owner of Pale Horse Barbell in West Brattleboro. It's a newer powerlifting gym. He's actually been in the area for a year and a half. Gosh, the timeline is escaping me, but his new space has been this huge addition to the community, and I have really enjoyed going there myself, and I've been spending more time there. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you've seen a different aesthetic in my background on my workouts, and that is Noah's gym. It is beautiful. So anyways, he and I are planning to coordinate and do a in-person pelvic floor and core class that specifically focuses on how to integrate activating correctly during weightlifting and posturing during that. So that is going to be October 11th, 9 a.m. to 10:30, and it'll be in person at his gym space in West Brattleboro, and the cost of that is $30 for the class. So if you're interested, we will be putting out a post tomorrow about more details about how to sign up and how to go and do that. So I would love to see and have some of you in person. And for anyone who's looking to get into more heavy duty strength training, Noah is fantastic. He's a really good resource in this area. And if you come to my class, you can check out the gym, and I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to you about memberships and stuff like that. So anywho, without further ado, today's class is number 5. We've been doing this for 5 weeks. Oh my gosh, everyone, that's incredible. For all of you who keep showing up, that's 5 Tuesdays you've shown up, and that's amazing. But so we've been building each week, and one area we haven't addressed with intention and specifically is the rib cage itself. So the rib cage is a really important area to make sure that it's functioning and moving correctly. And believe it or not, there are a lot of muscles that anchor to the rib cage. So if there's any dysfunction going on with the muscles that attach to the rib cage, or the rib cage is dysfunctioning, then the relationship there is going to struggle to be operating correctly. And also, if you've been following along, we talked a lot about how breathing mechanics and ribcage movement directly connects and relates to how your core and your pelvic floor functions and your posturing and all of that. It's so important. So tonight is going to be focusing on rib cage mobilization and activating the muscles that help move that rib cage correctly. So some of the patterns people get into, let's talk about that really quickly because I think that's helpful. Some of the patterns that I've noticed in my career and just observing humans is, especially in women, we find ourselves wanting to be smaller. So we're constantly pulling in this area, right? It's called upper ab gripping. We're just pulling those upper ribs in all the time. So you might create this forward posturing because you're just tightening up here all day long because you want to be small in here. And what that does is decreases the space and pushes pressure down on your pelvic floor. So if you're pushing pressure here, think about if you were to, those fun little toys that have the things that pop out when you squeeze them. That's kind of what you're doing to your body when you're constantly pulling in here. So these ribs, it's important that they expand and come back to neutral. The other posturing I see a lot of is this overextension. So the ribs are popping out this way, especially in weightlifting and functional things that require your core to activate. So if you've ever observed a baby, okay, a baby that's walking, they always stick out like this, right? Like they're trying to hold up their balance, and it's really hard for them because they don't have a core yet. They have not developed abdominal muscles. And oddly enough, some babies have a diastasis rectus, which is a separation in the abdominals. So sometimes you can see this little separation in babies. And when they try to use that area, you get little it's called bread loafing. So the pressure comes through and pops through. Yeah. So what babies will do is they'll use their back muscles and their extensors in the back to get their stability. Adults do it too if they don't have deep core activation and connection. Now, all of you who are here tonight are working on that, so that's going to improve, which is fantastic. And you won't have to do everything like this, and your ribs won't have to be flared, and the mechanics of everything will be better. So ideally, the more preferred posture of your rib cage is stacked directly over your pelvis. Everything is lined up right through here, right? So your ribs are in front of your pelvis and they're not tucked behind, directly over. So why don't you all just take a moment and kind of check in with yourself and think, hmm, where are my rib cage right now in relation to my pelvis? Is it forward? Is it back? Is it stacked directly on top? Pay attention and check in with yourself on that. So we'll work on some strategies to help kind of mobilize and move that. So if you're tight through here, you're gonna be tight in your pecs, everything's pulling you down through here, your neck's gonna be forward. So we'll work on opening up through here. And the other thing, if you're flared, you're tight in the back here. So we'll work on lengthening there. We want to have that mobility and flexibility in those areas so that the all the muscles that connect, especially your deep core to your rib cage, will be activating correctly. So let's get into some exercises that address some of that. First thing I want you to do, actually, let me pause for 1 second. I wrote a bunch of notes to make sure that I touched on everything. Oh, um, so in terms of dysfunction in this area, we've talked a little bit about it already, but when, the rib cage and this whole core system isn't working correctly, the pressure system will be off. And we've talked a little bit about that. So think of like a soda can. This area is a soda can. You have the top, which is the diaphragm, the bottom is the pelvic floor, your back muscles and your abdominals and your rib cage are the center of that canister. And if you have any kind of deficits, that's not going to be a strong soda can. It's just going to crumble. So, anywho, that can show up. Symptoms that can show up when you have any kind of deficits. It could be back pain. It could be hip pain. It could be neck pain because you're getting pulled forward. It could be leaking. It can be prolapse symptoms, heaviness in your pelvic area. And it's also could show up as just like feeling weak. So that's really important. And so if you have any of those symptoms, it might be an area that we look at is your ribs. So let's start in child's pose. And for anyone who can't be on your knees or can't do that deep flexion movement in child's pose, you're going to sit in a chair. And I don't have a chair, but pretend I'm in a chair. And your child's pose will look like just leaning forward over your knees. Okay. And the knees are important. The positioning of your knees, I want blocking the rib cage. So for all of you who can do child's pose, let's drop into child's pose with your knees close together. And I want you to sit your rib cage down on your thighs. Let your rib cage be blocked on your thighs. Okay. And then you're going to lengthen out. And what I want you to do now is with your front rib cage pinned down, you're going to focus your deep breath into your back rib cage. So really breathe into this area and expand into your back. As the front of your rib cage is more blocked, and you're going to get a big stretch into your back and outer rib cage. So let's do 10 big inhales. Exhale. Drop into it a little more. Big inhale. Let it all expand. Exhale. Don't be afraid to make noise with your inhales and your exhales. Like get big and really just over exaggerate it. Big inhale, open up your back. Exhale. Drop into it a little more. Pin your front rib cage. Inhale. Feel that length and that tight mid back and the lats on the sides. Exhale, let it all go. Go at your own breath pace if you need to, because I'm talking. Inhale big. Expand, expand, expand. Exhale, let it out. Big inhale. Exhale, two more. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Pop up onto your hands and knees. Now what we're going to do is increase some rotation. Now, again, if you can't do hands and knees, you can do it sitting in that chair. You're going to be leaned over. And what I want you to do now is create some rotation. It's called the thread the needle. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your top one of your hands and you're going to reach up as high as you can. Oh my God, I'm so tight in this direction. Reach, reach, reach. And then send that arm all the way down and through to the other side, letting that shoulder almost hit the ground, really making sure that the movement is coming from rib cage. I could easily move my shoulder, right? But I want you to think about, oh God, rib cage opening, and then rotating the other way through. Now to add your breath, you're going to inhale as you open. Exhale, thread the needle down and through. Inhale. Let's do 8 on each side. Exhale, thread the needle through. Do it at your own pace. Big inhale, rotate, rib cage, open up. Exhale. Gosh, guys, I am so tight in that direction. Ooh, half the reason why I love doing this with you all. I get forced to do these movements, which is great. Everyone can benefit from this. Even Ella, if she was in here. Okay, I lost track. Oh gosh, take me back to kindergarten because I can't count. All right, and then switch sides after you've done 8. Same strategy. Inhale as you open up the other arm now. Exhale, thread that needle down and through. Big inhale, open. Exhale, thread it down and through. Inhale. Exhale. Make sure your head and your eyes are going with it. Your spine is affected by where you look. I think that was close to 8. Okay, now we're going to do a manual rib mobilization. So you're going to lie down on your side. I'm going to lay on this side. It doesn't matter. We'll do both sides. So we're going to be incorporating breathing. So go ahead. Oh, let me back up so y'all can see me better. Let me check comments. Everyone doing okay? Looks like everything's good. Live chat. Okay. Huh? It's always such a good view. You can check out my gray hairs. All right. Oh, see, I missed a hi. We've got Eleanor in here. Yay. Okay. All right. So back to your side. So the manual rib cage mobilization, knees are bent. It's almost like our open book move. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand, the top arm hand, and you're going to put it right on this rib cage right here. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do a big inhale into your hand. On your exhale, now don't be afraid of this. Your ribs are very springy. I want you to exhale and really push those ribs down and in. So you're like wringing yourself out. Big inhale into your hand. Exhale, push down on that rib cage. So you're facilitating movement. I'm not going to keep breathing, so I want to talk about another thing. So there's something called rib flaring, and keep doing it at home. So big inhale into your hand, exhale, push it down and in. So rib flaring can happen for a multitude of reasons. It can be a result of unilateral or one-sided tightness of your back muscles and the muscles that attach to your rib cage in the back, kind of pulling that rib on this side big and open, so it flares one side. It can also be weakness and inactivity of the obliques and the muscles in the front here. And then lastly, if anyone has gone through a pregnancy, when you grow a baby, obviously they need to take up space in this area. So your rib cage will naturally start to flare and open to accommodate the baby. And oftentimes, because of how your organs are situated and where the baby goes, women will often, more often than not, get a rib flare on the left side. So you may have noticed if you are someone who went through pregnancy, the band of your bra, the number, like if you're like a 34 or whatever, you might be now a 36 or a 38 or 40, because your rib cage stayed flared after pregnancy. So this strategy, this rib cage mobilization is really helpful for that too. So I think we've probably done 10 or so by now because I'm talking. Let's flip over to the other side. Now, the other thing to be really aware of, because I've had this happen to people, is we are doing a lot of breathing. People have, people can get lightheaded during this. So if that does happen, back off, take a break. We don't have to do this like really intensive, like deep breathing stuff. You can still do the moves, just back off from the breathing a little bit and go back to your more um, normal breathing pattern. Okay. So on the other side, same thing, shooting for 10. You all should be a little bit ahead of me. So big inhale into that hand on the top. Exhale. Push it down and in. And like I said, these ribs are really, really flexible. They should be able to move. Don't be afraid to push them down and in. You're getting a good stretch. You're getting good recoil. They're going to rebound really nicely. Big inhale into the hand. Exhale, push those ribs down and in. Yeah, nice. So back to rib flaring. Interesting enough, I don't have any children. I've never had a pregnancy, and I have my own rib flare that I have had since I was a kid. Must have been like maybe a subtle scoliosis, an imbalance in my musculature. But I went to the doctor when I was like 10, 11, maybe 12. I said, "Why does this rib stick out so far?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe extra bone growth." And that was it. So I have had this for that long, and it wasn't until this year when I went and did my bodybuilding competitions that I'm like, I actually need to work on that because aesthetically, I need that to be pulled in when I'm competing on a stage. So I've been working on it with moderate intention for the past 6 months or so, which has been really interesting. Um, yeah, fun little anecdote there. Okay, I'm sure you all are through your rib cage mobilization now. So next we're going to let's do, what do we got for time? Gosh, this goes so fast. Let's stay on your side and let's do a little bit of core work that pulls that rib cage down and in and activates things a little bit more. So we're gonna do our side plank. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your knees bent. It's a modified side plank. And you're gonna take a big inhale. And on your exhale, we're changing our intention. Your intention is going to be pulling your rib cage in and holding that plank for the duration of the exhale. So inhale, exhale, pull it up and in. Feel that rib cage get pulled in. Inhale, exhale. It's like a side crunch. You're really pulling that in, getting those obliques to activate. Inhale, exhale, pull in, lift high, crunch that side. Big inhale. Let's do two or three more. Exhale, lift. Really, really wring it out. Inhale. Exhale, side crunch. Lift up. One more. Good one. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. So this is a weird habit I do is I kind of like hit it. Because have you ever had like an older brother or an older sibling like want to punch you in the gut? What do? Tighten up. So it's kind of the strategy of like, all right, activate that area and prepare for like impact. So if that helps you, go ahead and like lightly tap yourself. Other side, everyone. Side plank. Inhale to get ready. Exhale, lift. Pull it all up and in. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Exhale. Now be very aware that you're not or bearing down on your pelvic floor. Remember, on our exhale, the pelvic floor should be coming up and in as well. So really feel that gentle Kegel as well. I know the intention is rib cage right now and tonight, but that hopefully, as we talked about last week, should become more of a habit and an anticipatory response. Like that group of muscles should just activate on their own. Couple more. Inhale, exhale, lift. You all are awesome. So proud of you. Okay. Let's see what else we need. Let's go onto our back with our knees bent. We'll do a couple bridges and really change the intention to focus on rib cage staying in line with the pelvis. So on your back, knees are bent. Uh, okay. All right. I'm in the frame. Good. Okay. So I'm just gonna pull reluctantly because I'm a little bloated today and my bladder's full. What the heck? Okay. So maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. My rib cage flares quite a bit. I have tightness in my back muscles. It makes me arch. It makes the rib cage flare forward. Okay. So that is perfect demonstration. So what I want you to do is you're going to do a little bit of a pelvic tuck. You're going to flatten your back the best you can. Hold that. Exhale, lift your butt up in the air. Now, don't lose that alignment here. So right now the rib cage is aligned with my pelvis. Keep that as you lower down. So don't arch like that. Keep it up and lower it all down together. A cue that might help as you lower down is one vertebrae at a time. That's a really common cue in yoga and Pilates. So inhale to set, little exhale to bring it all in, then lift. The movement is coming from the ball and socket of the hip joint. So once you're locked in at the core, nothing else should move. The ball and socket at the hip joint is doing all the rotation and the work. Inhale, reset. Exhale, pull it in. Lift after you've pulled it in. Keep blowing the air out. Hold that nice flat rib cage in line with pelvis. Lower down one vertebrae at a time. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, reset. Exhale, pull it all down and in. Then lift. Keep that in line, one vertebrae at a time. Lower. Inhale, reset. Exhale, pull it in. Lift. One vertebrae at a time. One more. Best one, everyone. Pull it in on your exhale. Lift. Beautiful. And come back down. One vertebrae at a time. Yay. Awesome job. Okay. What was the next thing on my list? Mini crunch. We've kind of already been doing that, but that's a good one. So you may have heard, crunches are bad, or, I don't know, there's always new like recommendations, but there is a purpose for a crunch. And for sake of pulling the rib cage in, it's going to be very valuable for us. So what I want you to do is start with a flat back best you can. So a tiny little pelvic tuck under. You're going to keep your chin tucked. And then on your exhale, you're going to think about that rib cage being the leader, pulling down and in, and then lowering down, controlling that rib cage. So don't end up like letting it just flare like that. You want to kind of keep that subtle tuck of that rib cage in, chin tucked. Exhale, mini crunch. Lower down. Again, maybe one vertebrae at a time is the right cue. Inhale, reset. Exhale, chin tuck. Rib cage pulling you up. And back down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, reset. Exhale, pull it all in. Now, you don't have to lift that high. It's literally like the top of my shoulders coming up. Inhale, reset. Exhale, tuck it all in. Rib cage is the leader. Down one vertebrae at a time. Ooh, mine feel a little weak today. One more. Big inhale, make it your best one. Exhale, pull it in, chin tuck, lift. Ribs are leading. Down one vertebrae at a time. Yeah, good job, everyone. Okay, next one. Oh, a reverse crunch. Okay. So the reverse crunch, what it's going to look like is the opposite. Your legs are going to be up and you're lifting your pelvis up a tiny bit. There's going to be some leverage happening through your hands. That's okay. So you can kind of like leverage through your hands. It is a subtle little pelvic lift. So before you lift, you're going to stabilize above. Your rib cage is aligned directly over your pelvis and it stays there. Okay. You're going to hold it in nice and strong. And you're going to, on your exhale, keep your back pressed to the ground, belly button in, rib cage down and in, lift. Very, very gentle. Now, if that's too much, you can bend your knees and it'll decrease the leverage. Little tiny lift. It's on your exhale. And try to lower slow if you can. Inhale, reset. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reset. Exhale, lift. If that's too much, for all of you who are doing okay, keep going. If that's too much, you can regress even further down to just pelvic tilts. Okay. So on your exhale, think about that pubic bone right at the bottom of your pelvis, right here, pulling up towards you, towards your head. Okay. So on your exhale, pull it up and in. Inhale, reset. Rib cage doesn't move. Well, it does when you breathe in, but it's not big flare through your back. Exhale, pull your pelvis up. Inhale, reset. Exhale, reverse crunch. Yeah, those are good. Do 3 more, whatever variation you're doing. Inhale, reset. Exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Oh, yeah, that is good. All right, I talked a lot in the beginning, so we're going to do one more challenge for your core. I hope you all can stick around for another 5 minutes. All right, dead bug. We've done this one before. New intention though, rib cage staying stable and strong. So dead bug, you start with your arms up, knees up, everything in line. So it's basically like the hands and knees quadruped position or tabletop, but on your back. And then coordination here, right? On your exhale, you're going to drop one leg in the opposite hand or arm down at the same time. Now, the intention here is nothing moves through here. Okay? So on your exhale, full motion. Heel goes down, arm goes down, and returns all on the exhale. Then you're going to do the opposite side. Inhale, reset. Exhale, drop the other side down. Inhale. Exhale, drop it down, other side. Bring it in. Nothing's moving through that core. Spine is pressed to the ground, ribs are stacked over pelvis, belly button pulling in. Exhale, drop, bring it back. Inhale, reset. Exhale, other side. Inhale, reset. Exhale, other side. Keep going, everyone. Let's do 6 more. Inhale, reset. Exhale. Hold it all in. Nice job. Keep it going. And finish. Beautiful. All right, let's end with our open and close book for some just rib cage mobilization. Roll right onto your side, arms out in front of you, knees are bent. If you can, grab your bottom leg with your bottom arm. That's going to just hold the bottom part of your rib cage down so that your top rib cage can get a big rotation and reach. So a big inhale, big reach to the other side. Open that book up, open your chest. Exhale, close the book. Let's do 6 on each side. Big inhale, open it on up. Look with your head and your eyes too. Close it. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Roll onto your other side. Just flop right on over. Bottom hand grabs bottom knee. Top arm, big reach to the other side. Hi. Close the book. Big inhale, open it up. Exhale, close. Big inhale. Exhale. I think that's four. I lost track again. Oh my gosh. Five and six. Make it your best one. And then roll right onto your back. Knee rocks with your feet really wide. Get that hip moving. Getting a stretch even through the rib cage from below now. So a little bit of lower trunk rotation. Hmm. And then stop at center. Either keep your knees bent or go into the complete starfish position. I totally forgot what that's called in yoga. I tried learning it last week, but I forgot. Close your eyes. Take your time and do 5 deep, intentional breaths. And on every single exhale, I want you to feel any kind of tightness and energy that doesn't need to be here anymore. Just go out of your body. So big inhale, pull in that beautiful, nice oxygen. Exhale all the crap from the day. Nothing you need anymore. Just blow it on out. Big inhale, pull in all the positive energy, that good oxygen. Feel it, see it going through your body with your eyes closed. Envision this beautiful, like gold light just going inside of you, going down through your nose, past your larynx, through the trachea, into your lungs, filling up your belly, swirling around, creating this like magical moment for you. Exhale all the nasty from the day. Goodbye. Blow it away. Watch it send off. Visualization is powerful. So again, pull in that beautiful golden, majestic, magical light or whatever you envision that feels warming and comforting and beautiful. And exhale all the crap you no longer need. Watch it float away. See ya. Bye. A little somatic therapy for you all. All right. Roll onto your side. Push yourself up to sitting. You did it. Happy Tuesday to you all. Hopefully, you learned a little bit about your rib cage and found a deeper connection to it, a new intention, a new area of your core. I'm going to refresh my screen and see if there's any comments, but please take this moment in time to ask me anything about the class, about what we did. Oh, there's Ella. Hi, baby. About life. You just want to talk? Open floor. Let me know what you need. It was interesting this past weekend, if any of you followed my story. Oh, see, yeah, there's comments that I don't get to see. Ali said, gotta go eat dinner. Good for you. Enjoy. Now that you're in a rest and digest mode, it's perfect timing to eat some dinner. Perfect, perfect. You're welcome, Eleanor. Glad you were here. Um, but yeah, so this past weekend was heavy. I don't know, like some heavy feelings, heavy energy. It was a difficult Saturday for me, but that's okay. But it was interesting because I had some other people have similar feelings over the weekend. So there's maybe that's just like whole universe energetic like blanket on all of us. And we just need to like get out of it. Oh, Jen, she says she feels like a new person. You're welcome. I know it's so wonderful, like just activating this system because of where our nervous system runs through. So the vagus nerve, our parasympathetic nervous system nerve, our rest and digest nerve is goes right through the diaphragm. So when you activate your diaphragm correctly through diaphragmatic breathing and moving the rib cage, you stimulate that nerve and it moves us into this nicer state of being. And like I mentioned, because Ali said she's heading to dinner, yeah, rest and digest prepares you for the evening and really just helps your whole system. Danielle says, oh, this was perfect working on getting back on track for yourself. Yes, you deserve it, girlfriend. You work hard and give so much to everyone else. You deserve this so much. Oh, Eleanor, yeah. Isn't that so interesting? Just sad for no reason this weekend. There's got to be this collective, like, yeah, whole society, whole world universe energy that we're all just feeling. And for those of us who are empaths or just deep feelers, it probably impacts us more than we know. And I think the best thing we can all do is just talk about it, connect, and realize that you're not alone. And never feel like you have to be alone. Think about who in your life feels like a safe person and reach out to them, be like, hey, I'm just feeling kind of down today. And that's all you have to do, as long as you have that one person you can turn to. So thanks for sharing that and being open and vulnerable. But yeah, so this was class 5. Um, we'll meet again next Tuesday. I believe I'll still be in Jesse's space at Core Healing Massage in Brattleboro. And we will keep building, learning something new every single week. And reminder, if you're interested in coming in person and learning about weightlifting and how to integrate this, come to Pale Horse Barbell on October 11th. And as always, my Venmo will be in the group. If you feel compelled to donate to my cause here, I would be appreciative. And check out the swag. And thank you all again for those of you who did buy some. It's really, really endearing to me. So I love you all. I appreciate you all and look forward to this again next week. And as always, reach out anytime. Keep showing up for yourself. It's so worth it. You're worth it. All right. I love you all. Take care.